The Moshi Monster Kickstarter has been cancelled. Not clickbait, not fake. We all got the same email. We all saw the Discord notification. It is over. Or is it? Are you serious? Let me get this straight. I cover Moshi news for 2 whole months, and then when they release the biggest Moshi news that they have, it is right before I start a 10-hour shift in a different city. The conspiracy continues. I don't even have a script because I literally just got home from work. This is wow. The Moshi Monster Kickstarter has been cancelled. Welcome to this episode of Emergency Moshi News. This is going to be a little bit different than normal. Rather than covering different stories, I'm more going to be trying to address potential misconceptions with this, so we can all be on the same page from day one. So, what has happened? The Moshi Monster Kickstarter has been cancelled. The one with a £250,000 goal that was very unlikely to be hit in the next week was cancelled today. What does this mean? Does this mean Moshi Monsters isn't coming back? Well, we always knew with this Kickstarter that there was going to be one of 2 outcomes, okay? A, they were going to hit the goal or even exceed it, and we were going to get Moshi Monsters built by the community. Or 2, the Kickstarter would fail and they would have to go to investors to bring the game back. However, they chose option Trez. Alright, they seed it. They circled. They crossed out the answer. They circled, right? There was a Venn diagram and they went next door. They decided this isn't going to work. Where can we save money so we can lower the cost that we need to do this game? Because why do they need this money? Why do they need this money for a Kickstarter? That's a question I got a lot. You have to think, Moshi Monsters was built on Flash. This new game is not going to be built on Flash. What are the chances they are developers that can do this? They need to hire people for this game. So there's only so much cost that can be cut. However, they have spoken out and said that the Kickstarter is going to be coming back next week on the 18th of August, in literally 10 days' time, with a lower threshold. So does this mean they didn't need the money they asked for before? Probably not. It more means that they've reevaluated the scope, or heck, they're probably still doing it now, to see, okay, this is how much money we can get from the community. What can we do with that? Because you can't adjust the scope or the length of a Kickstarter once it's up. But speaking of the Kickstarter, what happened to the £170,000 that was raised? Is it all gone? Have they pocketed the money and run away? No, every single penny was not charged. The way a Kickstarter works is that you pledge money, but it does not leave your account until it ends, only if it's successful. So everyone would not have been charged until August 15th if the goal was hit. Since the goal was not hit, nobody has been charged, no money has been taken. However, this does mean that a lot of the rewards that were there may be changed. They have announced that they are going to be reevaluating some of the rewards, whether that's the physical ones or the digital ones. We won't know until next week. Maybe we could bust our bumble chops, but we won't know until the 13th of August, next Wednesday, when they have announced a teaser for the new Kickstarter, as well as a Q&A live stream. Next Wednesday, I am also doing a 10-hour day in a different city. Thank you, Moshi Monsters. By the way, guys, guess where I was when the first Kickstarter came out? I was doing a 10-hour day in a different country. The timing is it's beautiful. If you want to keep up to date with the new Kickstarter, the best place to do it seems to be on the Moshi Monsters Discord. This is where they are keeping all the announcements coming through. I will follow it as closely as I can, but I'm not around next week. I am going to so many different cities. You may have to find another source of Moshi news. Maybe Rory Scroll can come back. Also in the news, it's the same news, I just haven't said it yet. Some people seem to be concerned that it's being relaunched so soon. On the 18th, 10 days later, shouldn't they leave it a bit longer? Well, they have a window where they wanted to release the game. My thought process is, if you postpone it a lot, not only is interest going to fade, does that mean the game might be postponed? Because then they can't work on the game until they get the money. Like, not properly. Sure, they can do concept art and storyboarding. They cannot start developing this game until they have the money to pay developers. So until this Kickstarter is successful, this game cannot begin, essentially. So if they left it until September, October to release the Kickstarter again, not only is that going to push back development by a couple of months, interest is also going to wane, and also it won't be summer anymore. A lot of people have more free time right now because they're not studying, or they've got time off to spend with their family, as well as summer just being a nostalgic time, especially for kids' games. So I personally believe that them relaunching it very quickly is good. It's not the next day, which I think is good because then people would probably avoid it. We get a week to get the hunger back, to understand this new concept. So do I think this is a good thing? Yes. I think it's good. I mean, I try to be positive. I'm always an optimistic guy. Realistically, it would have taken a miracle for the Kickstarter to be hit. Even if a massive YouTuber such as Jacksepticeye for some random reason shouted it out, the chances of it hitting its target probably low. Because how many of those people are passionate enough to pledge money to the game, but yet they haven't heard about it? This gives us another chance to create the community-based Moshi Monsters that we can have. I think it's fantastic. I think it's only a positive. Of course, we still have to reach the goal of this new Kickstarter, but I won't know how easy or difficult that will be until we see it next week. But what does this mean about the competition, specifically Moshi Idol? Well, Moshi Idol was produced as a promotion for the Kickstarter, not directly connected to the Kickstarter. So the Moshi Idol competition is still ongoing. We still have one more week to get in all of our submissions. Everything outside the Kickstarter is still happening. The only thing that this directly affects would be the community vote plushies, community voted figures, and the community voted merch. Whether or not this comes into the new Kickstarter, we'll have to wait and see. Now, I want a Biggie Diddles hoodie as much as the next guy, alright? But if I have to choose between getting a Biggie Diddles hoodie and no game, or unlimited bacon and game, if I had to choose between a Biggie Diddles hat and no game, or a game and no Biggie Diddles hat, sorry, Biggie Diddles, bye. This feels, I haven't wrote a script, like I say, so I don't know if I've covered everything. I think I have. Let's run through it one more time. Today, in the news, the Moshi Monster Kickstarter has been cancelled. It will be relaunching in 10 days. We will be getting a teaser for it next Wednesday, as well as a Q&A live stream, as long as technical difficulties don't happen like last time. Please do not copyright strike yourselves again. The Kickstarter rewards are going to be reevaluated. There may be some new ones. We may be losing some old ones. But the point of this is that Mind Candy really want this to be a community-centered game. And that is good for everybody involved. You know who it's bad for? Those billionaire investors, right? Because they don't make more money. Okay? We don't care. We don't care. Hey, is there a billionaire in Moshi Monsters? No. Who's the richest guy? Probably Roxy, because they are money. Keep an eye on the Discord. I'll post any major updates on my community tab, or maybe I'll do a quick short if I get time. And I'll do my best to be in chat for the Moshi Monsters Q&A next week. Hopefully, I'll see you there. I really, really need a script. I don't even know how to say goodbye.
Yeah.